but
Welcome back.
I won't kink shame.
All right.
Keep ready for it to say welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. I don't kink shame.
Oh Lord.
Listen,
It's this
as
kind
a,
of
as a
episode,
middle,
huh?
as a middle school teacher. Okay, quick. As a middle school teacher, I don't know how many times I have to look at kids and just be like, I don't judge, and like then they go, Mister, that's, and I'll be like, I'll just like put up my hand, and be like, no, we're not going there. You're done.
Look, we've been a month away, all right?
Yeah.
So
No. Oh my god. All right. Welcome back. So after a brief synopsis of what happened, Corvus died, came back to life as no longer as Corvus the Phoenix, but as Corvus the Baron of Wormhaven, the Baron of Wormhaven Horde, one of the few barons that run Deepwell and keep it organized and functioning. He quickly established a meeting with all the other barons, which you three had attended, where he schmoozed his way into the good graces of most of them, who already didn't like the fifth baron, the Baron of the Hand, Nathaniel Hawthorne. And they didn't really like his father either, let's be honest. Deciding that he himself was going to take on the threat of the Mortal Hand in Deepwell and secure Deepwell for the barons that wanted to do good in the city of Deepwell, he and Orchid had a conversation, which led to a divide. Eden, Perrin, and Corvus would remain to deal with the threat of the Mortal Hand. While Orchid, who was what's the right word? I don't want to say impatient because you were being very patient. Who's very, wow, words aren't my strong suit right now. Eager, that's the word. Very eager to get to Minthable, deliver a package that she had been carrying for quite some time now, in order to potentially help her homeland. Set out with Venara and Art. Now, before we hit the road, I want to do a quick little, like, maybe about 5-minute, let's get our shit together. How do you want to travel? What do you think you need, supply-wise? All of this will be provided by the Wormhaven Estate, so you have no need to worry about quantity or payment of any sort. But what do you guys think you need for this journey? It will take you guys approximately, as I pull my map back up for like the 100th time this afternoon, it'll take you guys a good bit to get there. It'll probably take a maybe 2 weeks to get there, given that if you guys are going straight across from Deepwell to Minthable, you will be crossing a lot of untamed territory. It's mostly grasslands or hillsides, so there won't be much in terms of obstacles for you to overcome per se, but it is a very long and rugged road that you guys will be traveling.
4 weeks worth of food for 4.
For 4. Okay. 4 weeks.
I think probably so we could travel light would want to get or I'm thinking maybe we'd have horses, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to be, depending on how realistic we want to be, maybe like a team of 6, so we can have like a morning horse and an afternoon horse.
Are we taking a wagon, or are we actually just going on horseback? Because if so, then Art might need a pony.
Well, I mean that's it. I mean maybe Finara as well. Okay, a pack of 1 horse or 2 horses and 4 ponies.
Yeah. So horses and ponies will travel. I mean, you guys will travel about the same pace as you guys would be walking. The only difference is how comfortable you are, right? So you guys can walk 24 miles a day every day, until you get there. But like you're gonna have blisters on your feet after the first couple of days. So especially you barefoot folks.
As we buy a couple extra days of our feet are already well calloused.
Yeah. But if you're on horseback, then you don't really have to worry about that. The horses are taking a majority of the burden, but they're also pack animals, so they're used to that sort of thing, or used to that sort of lifestyle. So horses or a wagon definitely would be something I, as the DM, would recommend.
Yeah, I think horses is pack animals, so we don't have to deal with like getting wagons over obstacles. Yeah, that would be my recommendation, especially since you're not taking anything too hefty, Art, or are you? Because you were leaving some things behind.
Yes, I know for a fact that I was leaving Spark behind. I don't recall if I had a conversation about whether Dulcar was coming with us or not. I imagine that
Yeah.
he
Why
was,
wouldn't?
but I
Why
don't
wouldn't
know.
he? Yeah. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I would imagine that he would be coming with us.
Okay. So food, horses, and you
Well,
want
food for the horses as well.
So food for the horses. How many horses you're bringing? You're bringing 2 each for yourselves?
2.
Okay. So 4 horses, 2 ponies. Food for them.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping arrangements. What do you guys want to do for that? You guys can get one giant tent. You guys can each your own tent.
Probably
These
one,
are
one giant tent.
One giant tent.
Seems
Cool.
right.
and those can be separated into
Plenty
a
of
bunch
room
of
for all of
separate-
us.
Yeah. But yeah, no, those can be separated too. Like they're like the nice big ones that you'd get if like you went camping, where like you can divide them into quarters yourself, like within it. Yeah. Let's see. Water, food. I mean, I don't know. This is all on you guys. If you guys think you're good to go with all that, I'm good to go.
Is there anything as far as do you need any, like, do we need to be prepared for some spicy battles or something? I'm like, I don't know. Would Orchid have gotten anything? Orchid have gotten.
Are there
stuff.
any environmental factors on this particular trail that we should be aware of?
That too.
Ooh, that is a good question.
That is good.
Yeah.
So-
Also, I suppose we'd want just traveling money or like things to trade just in case.
Yeah, so there, in terms of travel, you guys are going through the western portion of the Golden Fields, primarily small farmland and farmsteads that support deep well, relatively flat until you get to the southern end of the woods that surround Misty Shift. Once you get there, it'll begin to start getting a little bit hilly as the mountains of the Ashvale peaks are mixing with the forests surrounding Misty Shift. You will have to cross one river, but you can find a place to ford that's pretty easy there, or at least according to the map, looking at the map, you can. And then again, just traveling along the mountainside until you get to the Guanyamalas. Would be that. So, I'd say, the most learned. Art, give me a history check.
I had another question after this too.
Go for it.
Well, my history's really high, but my roll was not. That's going to be a 9 total.
A 9. Weather-wise, you guys are coming out of, are starting to come out of spring. So there are definitely
that answers my question.
There are definitely chances of light storms and rains. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, there's no like looking up at the sky the day of, like you guys getting ready to set out. Nothing.
I mean,
really to
any
see.
maps we can get of the territories we're going into would be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for that, roll me a roll me a investigation check.
Okay. There's a one without a -1, want it? Do that.
I could certainly try to do so if you send.
I
me
mean,
the
I
direction.
could roll it. You never know. I'll just say maybe somebody else should maybe I'll help.
Yeah, can we assist?
You can
What
assist.
are we
You can
rolling?
assist. Yeah.
Are we
So it's
rolling
going to be
history
twofold.
too, or
It's going to be the first one's going to be
Investigation.
investigation check to see if you can find find accurate maps of the area, and then the second is going to be a because these will be there are general maps of Ecriom that Wormhaven has, but then you guys would actually have to go out and find an actual cartographer or cartography shop that has more localized maps or specialized maps for the area that you're traveling.
Got it.
That's
Yeah,
11.
I cannot. That's a 0 from me.
Oh my god!
Wait, you rolled a natural one?
I did.
No.
Oh all right,
11.
All right, save
How about a
them.
13?
A 13.
Oh god.
Yeah, with a
Well,
13,
here.
with the,
This dice is going in jail.
with a 13, that'll do it. And then just a quick persuasion check or charisma check.
Can help with.
Yeah, who's rolling that? Because I'm great at those.
Wait,
I'll-
persuasion?
A persuasion, yeah.
Oh, that's me.
I got,
That's so me.
I got a +5 in persuasion.
Or maybe it's not me. So never mind.
Oh, I got a 10 total though.
I got a 10 as well.
I mean, I know that with my -1,
we're off
I
to
have the
such a
highest
good
charisma
start
here.
right now.
Oh my
This is
god.
so bad.
Listen, get all the bad rolls now. Get all the bad rolls out now.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
I rolled a 3.
No!
-1 makes a 2.
I'd say the one that the cartographer is willing to part with is the one the cartographer is willing to part with details more of the Ashvale Peaks around that little like stream that turns into a river that goes into Misty Shift Lake. More so than like the Gwenya Malas or moving toward Minthable. You aren't able to find one of the forest itself.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you aren't able to find one of the forest itself or of Minthable. I will say the piece of information you get from the cartographer when acquiring these maps is that even though, you know, on most maps they have Minthable in a specific location, Minthable is very rarely in the location on any map. So like if the map, the map that I have in our Discord, that map has Minthable in one spot. If you went to a completely different cartographer, they'd have it farther south. So like it's not in the same location on any, like no cartographer has it in the same place.
Art is also going to make it a point to very closely study every map that we get our hands on.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot you have that. I'll say, do me a favor. Roll me a D100.
Let me actually find the dice for that, so give me just 1 second.
And this will be like you guys, like before you guys have made your decision to leave, like there would probably have been at least a day of preparation. So this would fall under that like day of prep and staring at
boy.
things and all that stuff.
28.
A 28. Cool. So go ahead and roll me a insight check.
Insight is going to be a 16.
16. Okay. So you scour through a handful of these maps. And these are larger maps of the entirety of the continent. But every single one, you just kind of hyperfixate on where the placement of Minthable is. And by the end of it, you spend probably about a solid hour just flipping through, because there are dozens of these maps over time. But you begin to pick up a pattern of, like, based on the year and the placement, there's a shifting that the city goes throughout the Gwenya Malos, somewhat counterclockwise. Not like 100%, right? It doesn't go all the way down to the very tip of the forest and then back up, but it rotates very almost centrally located, kind of in a circle, following the edges of the forest.
Interesting. Oh, that's fascinating. Seems like the city's never been in the same place over the last. Well, how long was the course of time over these maps that I've been reading?
This dates back the 300 and some. I think we're in like year 370-ish. The 370-ish years of the Age of the Red Dawn and into the ages prior. So this is probably about a good 1,000 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. This.
And again, the maps aren't always like, it's not like you're looking up every single year for 1,000 years, but like
Right, but
yeah.
just it's clearly not in the same place over those courses of time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, we got the general vicinity right, but it seems like well, depending on the most recent one, it seems that Mythenbell is here, but it could be anywhere within this region.
I'll say the
Wait,
most.
how do you know that?
Well, if you cross-reference all these different maps, you can see that this one has it marked right here, and this one has it marked here, and this one has it. And I'm going to start just pointing out every single one and all the different maps that are just kind of scattered all over the place in a way that's chaotic but organized to my brain.
Yeah, Finn has all of the little calculations, like, but it's all the question marks, like a bubble. That would be like above her head, where she's like, "What?"
The math, like
The math. Yeah, it's that GIF of the equations and the. Huh?
I mean, regardless, as long as we
Confusion.
follow this trail, we'll get into the general vicinity of it. But it's entirely possible that our
Well, how
destination
did you
might
get
not
so
be.
good at navigating and everything with maps and such?
Well, I'm good with calculations.
That's pretty amazing, Art. I had no idea about that.
so. Can
We
you
should have been letting you
project?
do that all the time.
Can you project where it's gonna be based on the way it's been moving?
Hmm.
Can I, Logan?
Go ahead and give me. Ooh. Go ahead and just give me a straight intelligence roll.
Straight intelligence is gonna
Or
be.
actually, no, a history. History. It'll be history. It would fall under history. You're using your knowledge of history to do this. Yeah.
Beautiful. That'll be an 18 then.
An 18. So on the most current map or on the map that I have, or that you guys have access to, that was the placement as of about 25 years ago. You project that it would be somewhere between there and where the A in Guanyamalas on that map is. So you guys will have to.
Yeah.
So you guys will have to cut through the Golden Fields, cross between the woods surrounding Misty Shift and the Ashvale Peaks, and then basically just hug it and loop around it until you get to the forest, and then continue to loop around like that last little section of the mountain.
Well, I can't say with 100% certainty, but according to my calculations, it should be right around there, or at least somewhere close within that vicinity, relaying this information to them.
Well, that's. I mean, hey, that's much better than having to search this whole loop.
That's true.
Okay. So, I think we've got our bearings. We've got food. We've got water. We've got pack animals for carrying that.
Food
We've
for the
got
animals as well.
Yep. Got some money for the road.
You got shelter.
Yep.
A tent.
Got the tent!
Mm-hmm. Some bed
Well,
rolls.
Yeah, bedrolls. I would say additional like survival gear. So like your different.
Like
Yeah.
hunting
Do we have
knife.
things for like fire?
Oh, believe me, I got that covered.
But I mean, safe fire, not the type that goes boom.
Well, all fire is safe fire in the right hands.
All right, I'm trusting you with this one, Art.
This is fine, I got this.
I will say a handful of the merchants that work with the what baron was it? That work with the butcher provide different meats for you guys, as well as some like pastry, like some like bready types of food that will help
Did they
fill-
have
fill the
some
belly a
butter
bit.
for Art? We need butter. Lots and lots of butter.
How much
Well,
is a lot?
I did grab a whole bunch from the last meal that we had, but I could always go for more.
What? How much do you need, Art? I never know. You seem to consume a lot of butter on a regular basis.
Well, I mean, well, I don't want to weigh down this poor pony, but I'll take as much as I can. Let's see. Let me do some calculations. I'm gonna calculate the exact weight of butter that the pony could safely handle without succumbing to exhaustion.
That's gotta be a lot of butter.
Well, how much do you weigh, Art? Let's start there.
Let's start there. Let me see. How much do I weigh?
You gotta weigh like 30 pounds, right?
I think I weigh about 60 actually, but
So
okay, let's
I'm fairly dense.
so basically each one of you has a riding horse and a pack horse, right? Now you can choose to swap them out every so often, but that's given that your pack horse is actually being packed light, right? If your pack horse is being packed with the same amount of weight that you are, then you won't need to swap them out, and it's really just a pack horse that's following you around. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know that a horse is going to at least carry you, so you can feasibly put 30 pounds of butter on this this pony, if you really wanted to. Yeah.
Well, as long as it's less than 29 pounds and 15 ounces, we should be good.
Yeah. But I'd say you get enough butter. You will not run out of butter on this trip. I'll say that. I'm not even going to put it in exact amount.
Where did I begin? I started a whole thing. I'm sorry.
Now, whenever it becomes whenever it's a butter related question, it's just like you get enough to last you however long you need until you ask about butter again. When you ask about butter again, you can get more.
Art can make butter a weapon. We have established this much.
Yeah, listen,
it's food. It's a weapon. It's very multi-purpose.
Listen. Yeah, you can do
healing device.
whatever you want with butter. Yeah, you heal with it. You eat it. Yeah,
Look,
but I'd
some
say
people have all-purpose flour. We have all-purpose butter.
All purpose. Every purpose.
Wait, that sounds also too. Never mind. Thank you, Taryn.
There's enough butter everywhere. Yeah. I'd say the last thing would be that members of the different caravans that the Wormhaven estate runs and functions also see you guys packing and gearing up, and they bring to you what do you call it? They bring to you kits for essentially weather kits. Right, so for your tents, for yourself, for your horses, because horses can get wet. They they're pack animals. They can live outside and blah blah blah. But common courtesy, these people try to take care of themselves and take care of their animals. So making sure that your tent doesn't get flooded out, making sure that you or your horses aren't constantly damp is really important, and they give you the supplies for that as well. To ensure that in case something did happen or you get several days of rain, that you guys are covered.
And we've got a bunch of rope too, right?
Yes.
Should we get rope?
Of course we got the rope.
Well, you each should have 50 feet on you, and then you guys can have however many feet of rope you guys think you need. Rope is pretty easy to come by.
Okay.
But yeah, you have enough for what you think you need, and if not, that's why we rolled D100s.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that all being said, we're gonna hit the road.
On the road again.
So you leave through the southwestern gate of Deepwell, the way that you guys entered. After taking time, your horses are prepared on the first level, or the city level. Above ground, you guys are able to grab all your stuff, grab all your gear, set up, and set out. You travel following that same road for first couple of minutes before Fanara. You see that same familiar shrine to Avandra, the Changebringer, off to your left-hand side as you guys are beginning to likely start to turn right into the Golden Fields. If there was anything you wanted to do with that before you left, but...
I probably actually before we left, I would probably try to go to that shrine really quickly.
Okay.
If y'all don't mind, I'm just gonna do a quick prayer just so then that way, just a prayer for our trip, Speaking with Avandra for a second. If you don't mind, it'll be really quick. So she's gonna go off, and then she'll probably like stop in front and like kind of kneel down. Obviously she's short, so it doesn't take her long to kneel. Is there like a statue of Avandra?
Yeah, there's a small statue of Avandra there. You see it's all of wood, and it's been weathered, and it's aged, but it's there. It's a woman in long flowing robes, her hair pulled back initially, but then like kind of let go and drawn down all the way down to where her feet are, and then from her feet almost like flowing down and out as if creating its own kind of winding path. She sits there kind of her posture is more of like stepping forward as if leading or going somewhere, with her face kind of slightly turned, looking backward behind her, the path that she has traveled. Rest of it is very gazebo-like. It's open air. The people there isn't you don't see any sort of like cleric or other dignitary that would be responsible for the upkeep of this. It's just a very simple shrine for those who are on the road and traveling. And so again, very similarly to how you entered Deepwell, there are people of all sorts, from merchants to common folk, to knights and the wealthy, who have, are meandering in and out, paying their respect.
She'd probably clasp her hands together, but then for like a brief second, for some reason, she actually reaches out to touch the top of the statue's foot, like where that foot is stepping forward, kind of placing her hand where Avandra's foot is for the statue. She takes a second and she kind of looks up. Avandra, may you direct my path with my friends. Also, too, please keep us safe, along with our friends that we left behind for this journey that's ahead. Don't really know what's to be expected out here. This is all very new, but, well, just be with us. Be with me. Thank you. And she gets up and then takes a second.
As you were kneeling saying that, there's a moment where you feel the wind brush off your left shoulder coming from the east, heading westward. But it's not hitting your face as in a straight turn. It's more of like hitting underneath your chin, as if to raise your chin up. And as you open up your eyes, your hand is on the foot, but as you open up your eyes, your head is no longer down. Your head's no longer down or facing the statue or the bottom of the statue, but pointed upward, facing and looking at the face of Avandra herself. But then the breeze kind of just continues on its way westward.
All right, here we go. And so she takes that second to kind of look at the statue a little bit longer before she heads back to the group.
Mentally, not necessarily mentally in terms of telepathically, what's one question that Finara would have before setting out on this journey, especially without her brother.
Can I truly stand alone without him?
As you leave the shrine and the gazebo and you take those first steps, you have those that brief moment of self-doubt, and whether it's your gut that's kind of telling you, or it's the wind that's just very lightly pushing you at your back. You look up, it's a sunny day. You see Orchid and Art on their respective horse and pony, and you have a generally good feeling about what lays ahead. You get back to your friends, you mount up, and the three of you begin your journey into the Golden Fields. At this point, for your first day of travel, I need one of you to roll a d20.
I'll do it.
And then from there we'll just go we can just go clockwise. We'll just loop around.
That was a 12.
It was a 12. Cool. So you guys have approximately about weeks in Ecriom, or about 5 days, or 5 days. Yeah. So you guys have a little, like, right around 2 weeks, given, depending on situations. But first day, everything is fine. Everything is perfect. Your travel is going to be light and fair, and unbothered the majority of the time. So if there's anything you guys would like to do on this very first day of travel, you may.
What's Minfabel like?
I'm very curious as well.
Well, the truth is, I don't know a lot about it. I know it's a town full of elves that are very connected to the forest, and the Feywild. I think maybe even more specifically the Spring Court of the Feywild. But other than that, I don't know a lot about it. Like Art discovered, they move around a lot. I did know about that. But
Is that for like protection from like outsiders? Are they not friendly?
I think they might be a bit protective of their way of life, but I don't know that that's for sure, if it's about protection or if it's like a lifestyle thing.
I see.
Constantly traveling's, maybe some people just like it that way.
Some people find it to be a religious experience, and then she looks at Finar, right?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they, right? I mean, it makes sense. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm very curious because we've had conversations, but I talked with Art a little bit about his family, and I can't remember if we ever discussed your family a little bit. Like, do you miss them? It's been a long time, right?
Kinda, yeah. It's sort of weird because I only have family of the heart, or the sisterhood and brotherhood, siblinghood of religion.
That counts.
But yeah, I
You don't have parents or siblings?
I mean, I guess in theory, but I don't know. I never met them.
Oh,
You never met them.
how did that I'm sorry if that's prying too much. I'm
No,
just curious.
It's okay. I don't really know what happened. My earliest memories are all in the orphanage, it was mostly elves, but I had this like she's technically like older, but she's my little sister because she's a goblin. But she's named Ivy, and I was Orchid, and we got our names because we always like climbing trees. Everybody had like a plant name where we were.
Oh, that's the origin of your name.
Yeah,
That's lovely.
yeah, it's cute. I still don't feel like orchids are just such delicate flowers. It feels sort of weird, but yeah, about what we were talking about earlier with saying Orca. I do kind of like that name, but I also don't want to like lose that connection to my sister, you know? Um it's important to me that we sort of have something, but I do kind of want to find a new name. So maybe while we're walking we could brainstorm like
Yeah. I mean,
climbing things, or maybe just a tree. I don't know.
well, there's so many different types of plants and flowers, and they all are so different and have different characteristics. So
I
I'm
mean,
sure we
yeah.
can find something that fits you or that you think fits you best.
Yeah. Hopefully it
No,
doesn't sound like a dumb pun too.
try some things on, see what fits for size. I mean, well, Dokar, is named for flowers as well.
I didn't realize that.
Hmm?
Are the flowers smelly? Is that a pun?
No, not at all. Dokar is actually goblin for flower.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't think I've smelled the Dark. I can never say that name correctly.
Dulcar?
I'm sorry.
Dulcar.
Dulcar.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think Dokar minds. I don't know if he can fully understand you anyway. I'm gonna
Well,
start
I
scratching
feel
Dokar
like
into the chin.
they do understand very well, just like Harry and Winston here. And she's pointing down to both of the horses that she's named Harry and Winston. No reason.
Well,
They have hair and they whinny? No.
Well, from what I've seen normally, it doesn't seem like they literally understand the words, more just the feelings behind the words.
Oh, all right. I
So
feel
they can sense intent. They can sense how you are feeling and how you are expressing yourself to them, but they probably don't understand the literal words.
Harry, Winston, do you not like your name? And she's like literally talking to the horses at this point.
Roll them for shits and giggles. Roll an animal handling check, please. Please.
Thank you, because that's
my
exactly
God.
what I wanted to do. Hey, that is actually a 21. Yeah.
A 21.
Amazing.
As you say Harry and Winston and kind of like pat them, which one are you riding currently?
I'm riding Harry. Winston is to the right.
So as you kind of pat Harry lets out like just a really quick like whinny, and Winston over to the side just kind of like trots a little bit closer and like nudges the back end of Harry a little, not like a ton, but like just like kind of does that like front to back kind of boop, and like shakes his head a little bit.
Does Finn think that this is like approval, or that one of them doesn't?
It's definitely positive behavior, not negative. Like it wasn't malicious. No.
Okay, good.
But yeah, you guys travel throughout the rest of the day. The weather's nice. It's cooler, but the sun is at your back, and at least for the first portion of the day, and is warm. Like warm is that kind of warming even in the chill of it. As night falls, you set up and make camp. Go ahead, Art. Roll me a d20, please.
Just a straight D20?
Yeah.
14.
14. Yeah. Night goes on without a problem. You guys have your shifts. You go and put yourselves to rest. And yeah, no problem. Move on to day 2. Fanara, roll a d4 for me.
D4.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
I'll need you to roll a d20 in a minute too, but d4 for right now.
Okay, that was a 3.
A 3? Cool. Cool. Nothing. Go ahead and give me your d20 roll. Give me your d20 roll for the day.
Okay. I'm gonna use that inspiration real
Yes,
quick.
this is something you can use your inspiration on, 100%.
That one. Not good. What? Ah! You gotta be kidding me! And that one again.
Did you just roll 2
Why?
natural ones in a row?
No.
Because it's
Wait, I got a 21 for animal handling, but a nat one
this
twice.
This is where.
What
So
is
I need
happening?
you to. I need you to roll me a d10.
Ay, ay, ay. Mamma mia. Okay. Ay, You stop one? What is happening? What is happening?
All right.
Oh my god.
So as you guys are traveling, literally only 2 days out, like in the middle of the Golden Fields, there are. It's not all like Great Plains, right? Like even the plains have patches of like small forests and trees every once in a while. And it's as you're getting closer to one of these kind of patches of trees that Finara. I'm looking at passive perceptions again. Yeah, Finara, you notice as you guys are maybe about 300 feet out that in one of the trees is a wagon, like a full-sized wagon, like suspended within this cluster of trees. The trees at this point are like like mostly budded, and leaves are starting to grow on them, but there's still that like little like patchiness to them. So you can see pretty clearly into it. The wagon itself, given that you have a passive perception of 22, the wagon itself looks older. It looks weathered. There are portions where bits of or branches from the tree are sticking up through like spokes in the wheel, or sticking up through and like breaking through and cracking through the hole of the wagon itself. The tarp and cover is severely mangled and torn, and then the front section, from what you can see where the driver would sit, is completely smashed in and crushed.
But it seems like it's been there for a while for the trees to have kind of grown through this.
It's for a combination of like the trees growing through it, and you can just tell it's had that like weathered and aged where like it's seen time. Yeah.
Ow. Orca, Art, do you see this wagon up there in the trees? In the distance?
Whoa.
I mean, it's older looking, but how in the world did it get there?
Logan, would it be at all possible for me to attempt to calculate the trajectory of how the wagon would have gotten into the tree? Sure. Would you say that this check is using a tool that I'm proficient with? Great. Well, I ask because I specifically have a feat for that. For using a tool that I'm proficient with. Because I have tool expertise, which makes my proficiency doubled for any ability check that uses a tool that I'm proficient with. So that's going to come out to a...
I just realized that I muted myself.
That's going to come out to a total of 19.
19. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that I muted myself on OBS. I just slid it down on accident. Judging it, it would have to have been thrown.
Oh.
And
When you
from
say
the
thrown, do you mean like physically thrown, or
Like-
like just
no, there's no metaphor here. This is science. There is no. This is science, dear goblin friend. There is
Metaphorically.
metaphorically. This thing has been yeeted into the trees. No, but no. In all seriousness, looking at like taking the time to look at it, how it is positioned, it would have had to have been thrown by something at least the size of it, if not larger. And the trajectory, so like if you guys are coming from the east and you're looking at this like kind of from like the east northeastish, the trajectory would have led it to be whatever that creature would have been to the south, like almost due south. So like the south throwing it almost northward.
Well, however it got up there, it was thrown with enough force to have landed in that particular position. It seems like it may have come from the south, so hopefully if we keep going straight, maybe we'll avoid whatever threw it up there.
Yeah, let's just be really quiet for a while, maybe? Or maybe it's like bears where we should whistle. So like don't come here. Although if they can throw a wagon, maybe they just
Well, I can imagine it to be possible from a physical strength standpoint. I don't know that we can. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe someone could.
I know. I'm not saying I don't
wagon.
think it's a bear. I'm just saying maybe like bears, we wouldn't want to startle them, so we should make noise so that they just stay away from us. But God, what would even do that?
Well, are there any tracks?
I have something for this. How would Perrin have put it? The notion of something that large throwing it would be unbearable.
I don't. Oh, that's really.
I've been practicing my words that have multiple meanings.
That's really good.
That's
You're
really
picking
good.
up really fast.
Oh my God, that's. That's funny.
I have a feeling though that Perrin would have hated that. I don't know why, but I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well, maybe I have to put a little bit more work into it. I have to come up with at least one that he'll enjoy.
I have faith in you.
We'll have to read them all back when we meet up again. We should start taking notes.
Oh, way ahead of you. And
Bear.
Art's gonna jot this down in his little leather-bound notebook.
Banara is gonna look though for tracks because now she's like.
Go ahead and give me a survival check. Now, so here's the thing: you guys are about 200 to 300 feet away from probably on the closer by this point 200 foot marker. You guys are about 200 feet away from this thing, right? This wagon. If you are looking for tracks, are you continuing to head toward it? Or
No,
are
I'm just
you...
trying to see like behind because he said south and also too he talked about velocity and all these other things that could have happened with the yeet. So because of the fact that like from where they are now, I think she just wants to make sure that there's like nothing that's going to be coming up behind them, and also to just if there are tracks, she may not know what it is, but maybe Orca or might know the creature or something.
Let's start with a perception check then. We'll start with what you can see from horseback, and then if you choose to look at things closer, then we can use survival for that.
Okay. Let's see. That's a 17.
17. With a 17, you can see a couple of things. Off to your right, so it'd be kind of north by northwest-ish. You do notice that there is like this kind of gradual part in the taller grass where a wagon would have went through, right? There's like that the rutting from the wheels and the shifting of the grass where it gets flattened. That's probably, you didn't notice it at first just because you guys were chatting and kind of being unaware, but now taking a deeper and closer look, definitely looks like whatever this wagon was a part of was following this path or made this path And you can even see where it starts to taper off a little bit towards the trees. The second thing you notice is there are portions of the tall grass as you look out toward where it meets this patch of trees, where it does look like the ground has been flattened. So there's either something there, or there is, or there's the grass has been cut, but you can't quite tell what is there unless you guys get closer. But you can definitely see where the cart came in, where it might have set up, and then there are different like patches of grass that look kind of suspicious, I guess would be the best way. Stand out.
I'll refer to y'all. Do we want to try to see if those patches over there, over yonder, if that means that there's like some type of creature nearby? I'm not familiar with everything since, you know, this is all very new, but maybe, I don't know.
I
Or should we
mean,
just keep going?
you know, I'm just tempted to keep going and sort of be on our guard. Maybe that's my vote. I don't want to go looking for trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, as much as I'm all for any sort of curiosity and venture, maybe we don't need to go looking for a bear that can throw wagons.
It's a possibility.
Oh, I see what you did there.
We're so good at puns. Yeah,
So
high five. And she
good.
like holds her hand up way too high, and then realizes and like holds it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Don't hear it. Don't.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, thank you. Oh, this is gonna be a fun trip.
As long as there's nothing to worry about. And then she kind of like looks behind her shoulder for a second, and then looks forward again.
Yeah, looking behind you, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna kind of just skirt around it. How much of a berth are you gonna give it? Like, are you gonna stay that kind of 200 feet that you are? Or are you just gonna go farther out and like kind of make it a bigger deal of looping around, or?
I feel like my inclination would be to just sort of give it a similar distance
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. That's it.
because it looks old, right? Like it looks like whatever
Yeah.
happened a while ago.
Yeah. For sure. Cool.
Oh,
You go. No, you're good. I'm just listen. I'm just asking. I'm just
I
asking.
mean, like
listen.
metagaming. I know we rolled
Listen,
two nat ones.
listen,
to
y'all
get
roll.
here,
Y'all
but-
the ones who
I
rolled
rolled
the
three
natural one.
ones. 3 ones.
Yeah,
It's
y'all
not the
were-
first
y'all the ones who
time.
rolled the natural ones. Not I. Cool.
That's
But
me.
yeah.
Sorry.
Rest
Sorry,
of the day.
Taryn.
The rest of the day goes without issue, as you give yourself this kind of wide path around. Fanara taking a look, like kind of keeping an eye on that patch of trees as you're making your way around. You can swear, as you guys are kind of making that final loop and then getting back on course, that you see something larger, like large, lumbering between the trees. Can't quite make it out because of the bit of shadows that are there, but it's bigger than most of the tree trunks that it's passing through.
She's going to reach out if she can, like even if it's like awkward, and she's like kind of like leaning because she's gonna have to like lean down for Art, and then try to reach towards Orca. She's going to be trying to touch them for a reason, and she's gonna say, "I think I see something that's kind of big. Let's just hope that as we continue on, it doesn't bother us since it's not bothering them." You feel kind of that warmth kind of flow through you, like a fresh breeze, ocean breeze. I'm doing emboldening bond on both of them right now, and myself.
All right.
For reasons.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna reach into my pack and whisper to Dokar and just say, Do you smell anything? Does anything smell weird to you? Nope. Okay. Nope. Dakar seems to think we're good.
Yeah, no, Dakar sniffs, kind of gives you like the skunk equivalent of a shrug, and you guys continue on. Lizzie, go ahead and roll for the second night.
I got a 12 again.
A 12 again. The day goes on without any sort of issue. I will say it gets slightly cloudier, not like rain clouds, but just like general like overcast. As you get to about the midday mark, sun in your face as you continue riding. You guys are in the Golden Fields proper now, like just like absolutely as far as the eye can see. I don't know how many of you have been to the Midwest and seen how flat as fuck it is, but just literally straight, just like between the green grass, and every once in a while, the occasional you can see the brown dirt of an occasional farm, like where an occasional plot of land for a farm field would be. You go on the day without any issues.
Oh, it's so weird being out in the open like this. I've always lived in forests. It's almost as bad as the ocean. It's weirder though. At least the ocean's supposed to be different, flat.
Yeah, this is a little unusual for me too. I mean, most of what I've been around has either been mountains or society.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, island life, and I'm always near the ocean, so this is, I mean, the furthest I've ever traveled, quite honestly. So this is all very new, unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
You settle that. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
Do you still have that funny feeling?
Wait, which one?
Huh?
Huh? It was a funny feeling? Sorry, I'm lost.
Huh?
Huh?
Oh,
Wait.
Finara was mentioning that she had a funny feeling earlier. Was I mistaken on that?
Oh, I mean, yesterday I felt like there could have been some big creature, lurking about, but that, I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me, but I mean, I think my eyes are fine. I think.
Okay.
Orchid leans in to like look at your eyes. Yeah, yeah, your eyes look fine. They're really pretty.
Oh, and then she's, of course, it's that deep hue of green again. Strikes her cheeks.
You have so many colors in your eyes. It's kind of amazing, actually. Wow.
No.
Your face is doing that thing again. Are you feeling okay?
Oh, whatever do you mean, Art? I'm fine. I'm fit as a fiddle.
You're almost as green as me.
Oh, huh? I don't think I have a mirror. I hope oh. And she's like looking at her skin for a second, but then she's just kind of like, her cheeks are still warm from blushing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember if that's a normal color that you're supposed to be turning, but I just want to make sure you're feeling okay. I mean, we do still have a long journey ahead of us.
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah. I've never had anybody even mentioned my eyes before like that. Thank you very much. Your eyes are very, very lovely too. And then she's like, but she's like sort of not looking at your eyes, like she can't meet your eyes, so she's just kind of like.
But anyway, it's so weird how flat it is out here.
And I completely forgot that I skipped night 2, but we're gonna completely ignore that. And this is day 3. Day 3 is we're through day 3. I love this. This is making up for it.
Finara is gonna do something once our finishes.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Art has definitely taken charge of organizing the sleeping arrangements each night.
Okay. Okay.
Is he in the middle? I hope he's.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you?
Oh
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And do you do like are you doing the separate quarters purposefully so they have to unzip and then like step over and unzip if they really wanted to like go talk to each other?
No, I mean I figured it was just like a tent, and then there was the three, sleeping.
Oh, so
Oh,
you're
the
just keeping it
sections?
Gods, and
completely.
then I'm
You're
just in the
completely.
middle one.
You're leaving it completely open. Okay.
Oh, it's just open. It's not like sectioned
Wow,
off.
he didn't even
Okay.
divide it. He's like just straight up third wheeling. He's just like, wow.
That's amazing.
That's a power move. Art, get
That
a point
is
of inspiration. Take a point of inspiration
Yes.
for that, buddy. Fuck. That's a
Love
fucking
it.
power move if I've ever seen
But
it.
so that means like Finar, so like Art can be down, and then like Orchid and Finar can be like looking at each other across, but no,
Yeah, but then it's like also too.
with
It's
Art
like
just snoring in the middle.
The two of you are tall enough where like Art could be like from like most of your guys'
Yeah,
like
exactly.
top of your chest to like you're like in that region, so that way you could be like just like looking at each other like eyes to eyes, but like Art's right in the fucking middle of you two. Like, look,
and it's just like you like see the two people looking at each other, and the camera pans down, and Art's.
it's like you guys
Yeah.
it's you guys with a giant space in the middle if it's only from like
Yeah.
the top half, and then like the camera pans down and Art's there.
and then
I
it's
love
like the real car is just like laid across.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh. I will say that Finar probably with the like the kind of blushing while kind of like on the other side while he's in the middle, she's going to go into her bag, and she ends up finding that that conch shell that Eden gave her
mhm.
a little while ago. So she's kind of gonna look at it because it's like also too like she's missing, some of their friends that they left behind, but she's also trying to figure it out because she's almost forgot about it. Literally.
Yeah. So you take it out. Is there anything that you're doing with it right off the bat? Like how are you going about the process of kind of tinkering around with it? I guess would be the best.
Yeah, I think that she's first of all like she's gonna take it out and kind of like take a look at it first. So kind of like I don't know how big is it exactly? Is it?
It's
just,
like a larger conch shell. So
Larger?
like it's not quite like tankard size,
it's
where
big.
it's the size of my big ass head, but like it's decent, like 16-inch softball size, probably between that and like a
Okay.
football. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna kind of take a look at it, and then she's gonna kind of like show Orca. Like, Aiden got me this a little while ago.
Oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I wonder.
I mean, do you think if you blow on it, is it one of the ones that are like?
That's
a
what
horn?
I'm wondering. But I mean, I don't want to wake Art. But then Art is like, he sleeps like a rock. Like there's nothing so far. That's the one thing I've learned is that it takes a lot to wake them up. A
I mean, a
lot.
conch shell might do it. It's
I mean, I don't want to prank him. I just want to see if this thing works. I know my brother has played something similar before, but I'm not as musically inclined. So, I mean, it's worth a shot, right?
we could try it. I mean, he could go back to sleep, right? He's pretty good at that.
Yeah, I could just give him a stick of butter and then he'll be fine. And then after saying that, she's gonna blow into the end of the conch shell.
All right. Go
Also,
ahead.
in Art's sleep, as you say the word butter, his ear twitches.
Go ahead and give me a performance roll.
Oh Lord. Come on, Umbral Oculus side. Don't fail me. Oh. Okay. Didn't fail me. Nice. That was a 16. Not bad.
A 16. With a 16, it starts off with like that kind of like off like as you're like trying to, but then it you take another deep breath and like let out this like very deep just like like thrum, right? Nothing happens when you do that per se. But like, yeah, just lets out this nice deep thrumming noise. Sir, I said deep thrum, not deep breath. Get yourself together. But no, so at least on the inspection of it as a musical instrument, it could work. You've seen Perrin do more with less, so.
Interesting. And then she's going to put it up to her ear.
You hold it up to your ear. As you do so, you begin to hear, like most shells, the sounds of waves crashing along the shore. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah.
10.
You could have sworn for the faintest of seconds that you heard someone calling. Not like calling you on a cell phone calling, but like calling as if like a distant shout.
Did it sound kind of distressed, or did it sound just like someone trying to get someone's attention, like from a distance?
With a 10, it sounded there's a hint of excitement behind the words. You can't quite make it out, but like the tone of it was more excited than like anxious or like scared, right?
Huh. I swore I heard something. Like a call.
Weird. Can I hear?
So she's gonna get off of her bedroll, and then like kind of like lift up her skirt a little bit to try to like trot over, and then hand it. But when she hands it over, she's going to make sure that it's like her hand ends up touching Orca's hand as she like releases it.
All right.
Oh, here, why don't you just sit next to me? If you want.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
And Orchid like sort of rearranges herself. I feel like, like if she's at the edge of the tent, she probably still like hunch a little bit. And then she holds it up to her ear.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
That's less than a 10.
You 8. As you hold up the shell to your ear, your eyes kind of do that like passive, like try not to make eye contact, but then they drift up and make contact with Fanara's, and you completely zone out to the noise of the shell. But for a moment.
What'd you hear?
Just hear the
She gets kind of close. What'd you hear?
Just the ocean.
Yeah, I heard the ocean too. But I swore I heard somebody. I don't know.
Maybe you did. Oh, what if it was? Are you sure it was from the shell? Maybe there's someone outside.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. Maybe it was something outside. Want to go check on that together?
Sure. Safety in numbers. I'll put the shell down and sort of try and like shuffle around. And Art's still sleeping through all of this.
Alright.
I imagine our voices are also too not as loud, It's
Oh yeah, you guys know how to talk at night when you guys are trying to like just whisper. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, we did
I
blow the
imagine
conch shell and then...
Yeah, I imagine as you two are leaving the tent that, maybe Art rolls over and Dulcar, twitches a little, but otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still out cold.
Art mutters, butter.
Butter.
Dulcar goes and grabs a stick of butter and puts it by Art's nose and just grabs it and pacifiers it.
Amazing.
But the two of you are outside. The fire that you guys had going, slowly dwindling. Horses tethered up don't seem to be agitated at all. They're just kind of hanging out, sleeping. And yeah, looking around. There's a gentle breeze going through the grasslands around you. The moon is out, but it's probably about half full at this point. There's a little bit of light coming from that. The clouds have parted. You can see the hundreds of stars that are up above you all. But other than that, at least with your passive perception of a 22 Fenara, you take a moment, the two of you, to listen, and the only noise that can be heard is the chirping of crickets and other animals and bugs, and the gentle blowing of the breeze through the grass.
I guess there's one thing for these wide open fields. I've never seen all this many stars at the same time.
It's really amazing. I mean, sometimes back home, I would go out, sometimes with my brother. When it was a really dark night, we'd go by the ocean and look up at the stars. There's just so many of them, and they shine so brightly. It's rather amazing, don't you think?
And when you look over to her, you realize that Orchid started just staring at you. And she nods.
Do I have something on my face?
Mm-mm. And then Orchid's gonna give you kind of just a little bit of a sly half smile, and then she's gonna reach out and take your hand and lace her fingers in your fingers.
And Fenara's kind of at this point she's blushing again as she has continued to do so, probably heavily during this trip, and she basically allows Orca to do that, and she folds her fingers. She kind of looks at their hands intertwined. Oh, my hands are so small compared to yours.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're kind of clammy right now. I apologize.
Oh, I thought that was me. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's probably, and her other hand she just wipes on her her dress. I think that's me. I don't know. It could be a
both.
the elf thing. Because I am half. Yeah. I've never, other than my mama and daddy and Perrin, never really held anybody's hand before like this. It's nice. It's nice. I mean,
I'm not a one to have held a lot of hands either.
Somehow I don't believe that. And she puts her other hand on her hip. And she looks up,
I grew up in a temple. It wasn't, against that, but
someone as strapping as yourself and
well, if we're going by measures of attractiveness, I have to throw that all back at you. But no, I'll stand by what I said. It's true.
Thank you. This is really nice. It's been really nice getting to know you. I hope we get to know each other better the more we travel like this.
Me too. We probably shouldn't stay up too much later. Though.
Can we just stay a little bit longer?
Yeah.
And as the two of you take whatever time you need. Ooh, Art, you have something.
The only thing that I'm gonna add to this is whenever they do finally make their way to the tent, I'm not sure how on earth it's possible, but somehow this little 3-foot goblin managed to sprawl out enough to cover all 3 cots.
100%. Absolutely doable.
I feel like Dulcar is helping a lot.
Oh yeah, dual car is like he's move the arms, move the legs. It's like I feel like for us dog owners, whenever you get into a position and then like you move slightly and then your dog takes up more room, it's just reverse.
Yep.
Instead of dual car doing it, it's Art.
Pretty much.
But you
Accurate.
spend your time looking up the stars. You come back in, gently move your little goblin buddy back to his cot and fall back to sleep. And with that, we're going to begin day 4 when we come back from our break.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be back in about 10-ish minutes. Yeah, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Day 4. There we go. Fenara, roll me a D4.
D4. 2.
2. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. And then I believe Lizzie rolled the last D20. So Art, roll a D20 for me for day 4.
All right, here goes nothing. 11.
An 11. An 11. Yeah, you're fine. Nothing happens. I will say it gets kind of like that kind of like light drizzle going on, where like it's on and off. The clouds aren't like, it's not super cloudy, but it's like very minimal clouds that will come and go throughout the day. Every once in a while, there's an occasional drizzle here and there, so you break out the weather equipment. But it's still a very pleasant day altogether. The ride is pretty nice. There isn't too much like bumping or moving around. I'd say at this point you can start to notice the mountains, the Ashvale Peaks, and then the hills that are to the southeast of them, on your left as you're riding. You would know that somewhere out there are a set of hills where Karthaki Bluffs lie, where Art, your companion and friend for a while, Cinn-A-Bon, once resided. But yeah, generally good day. Not a lot to see, not a lot to do. Occasionally you'll see like a rabbit or deer, like prancing around, hopping around. But nothing.
Under my breath,
Go for it.
I was just gonna say, under my breath, I'm gonna mutter Cinn-A-Bon, and my cloak is gonna flutter.
Does Fenara hear this?
With a passive perception of 22, 100%.
Geo Safari? What did you just say? And how do you think your cape thing just started fluttering all of a sudden? Is it like a magic spell or something?
Oh, it's well, it used to belong to a friend of mine, and whenever you say his name, it just floofs like that.
Oh, Geo Safari is a very interesting exotic name. Where is that from?
Oh, it's Cinn-A-Bon.
Cinn-A-Bon.
Mm-hmm.
That's also very exotic. Where is he from?
Well, he's apparently he's from not too far from here, but I don't know where he is now. He was kind of a traveling merchant.
Oh, so in your travels you came across this Gino person and became friends. Was he also someone who was really good at making things as well?
Well, I may have kind of made a lot of things from his wares. He was very generous with me, and maybe I sometimes got myself into trouble.
Oh, how? Did
Well,
you make things go boom again? Or stuff
I-
with butter?
I may or may not have blown up his cart.
Oh, so it was one of those boom situations. I gotcha.
In my defense, he asked me to do it.
He
But
asked
still.
you to blow up his merchandise cart?
It's a long story.
Well, we got a long road.
That's true. It's a chance for us to get to know each other better, too.
We can fade to black on this while you explain it. Go on.
As we continue down the road, I recount the tale of
So
Giovanni.
So he handed me the C4. No.
And then I started blasting.
Then I started blasting. No, but you tell the story of your dear friend Gino, amongst others, as night settles. Eddie, go ahead and roll me another d20. I'll have the same person roll for day and night.
A 16.
A 16. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Ooh.
A D6, you say?
Yeah. A 1. Okay. Perfect. Actually, this one's actually really perfect. So night falls. You're all sitting around eating your evening meal, just kind of relaxing out by the fire prior to going to sleep. As you guys do, Fanara, you hear the shifting of the grass coming from behind you all. And as you turn, you can see a hooded figure starting to make their way towards you all. Roughly mid 5 feet, so like between 5 foot, 5'6" and 6 foot. Slighter build. The cloak covers their entire shoulder, like their front, their shoulders, and their back, and the hood is fully up at the moment.
Is Fedara the only one who sees this?
Or well, at least hears it, and like would turn, and as Fanara is turning to kind of look and see it, because she's shifting and turning toward it, you guys can all see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that too, like in that instance, because of the fact that she sees this figure, she's going to do the similar situation as before with the bond with the three of them, because she's not sure if they have to be on the offensive or not. Defensive.
Ooh, that's all warm and fuzzy.
We might need it. You
there.
over there? And then at the same time, just like
Yes. Hello. Hi. But and hands come out from underneath the cloak, and like as they raise up, the cloak goes over the shoulders and like down across the back now, and you can see leathers and hides type of like style of armor, leather bracers. On the hip, you can see a long sword, and then the other hip, a quiver of arrows. The head or the cloak pulls back over the shoulders, and the hands go up and pull back the hood, and you can see a human man, longer, kind of scraggly beard that goes like to the very, very top of his chest. His hair is kind of long and matted, but well kept, and his face is very not pale complexion, but on the lighter tone of things. He steps forward. I mean you no harm. I saw the fire from a ways off and wanted to ensure that the people here were safe. I'm Tal. Short for a
Nice.
much longer name.
Nice to meet you, Tal. I'm
Hi,
Orchid.
Tal.
This is Art, and this is Fenara.
It's
hello.
a pleasure to meet you all. I'm sorry for startling you in the middle of the night. I know there aren't many people wandering the fields.
Is there some reason you were particularly concerned for our safety?
No, I mean, there's the occasional brigand or bandit. Every once in a while, there are gnolls or ogres, and I mean, general wildlife that can get in the way. I try when I can to stop and make sure everybody is doing all right on their travels. At least when I come across people, the fields are a pretty desolate place in terms of humanoid life.
Want some food?
Sure. Yeah, that I would love some. And he goes to kind of move across. He sits on the edge of the fire, like facing your camp, more like his back the way he came, back to the way he came. Accepts whatever food you offer and drink you offer to him gladly. And
it's trail ration sauteed in butter.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Lots
takes
of butter.
And it's like at that point, because of the butter, it didn't get like, it got like soft and chewy. It didn't get, yeah. And this is like, we're talking hardtack. So like you took
Like
milk,
butter and heart.
right,
And
yeah,
maybe like beef jerky.
yeah. And so it's like, it's just, definitely a combination I haven't seen before. And he's eating it, but no real expression of dissatisfaction on his face. So where are you all headed, if I may ask?
We're headed towards the Gwenya Malos.
And what business do you have? I'm sorry, I'm prying. But what business would you have in that wood?
We're looking to go to Minthbell. Beyond that, I don't really want to talk about it, if that's all the same to you.
He sits back and just kind of cocks his head to the side. Not like more of like, huh, okay. Well,
I don't suppose you have...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't suppose you happen to know where they are this time of year?
Hey, you better fucking work, or else I'm throwing you in jail.
Well, I did hear
Hey.
that, so...
Threatening it. Perfect.
Roll an intimidation check.
Against my own die. No, it was against my dice.
Okay.
I'm rolling Umbralaculous die who hate me, so. But yeah. To my best recollection, this is the time of century where they're typically on the eastern side of the Gwenya Malos. Not exactly sure where, but if you're heading this way and are attempting to go through the woods where the mountains intersect with it, then just ask around. Or actually, the trees wouldn't have grown back yet, so there should be a clear enough path for you to find.
Can I do insight on that?
Go
while
for
he's
it.
talking.
That sounds like it matches up with what we already knew, though, right?
Yeah,
I'm
that.
just, yeah. She's just still trying to get it.
Yeah,
get a
for
vibe. Sure. Vibe check, please. Not a good vibe check. It's fine. It's a 9.
9?
I'd also like to vibe check this guy, too.
Yeah, go ahead and vibe check.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
To the information or just a general vibe check?
Mine was general.
I also sort of general. I've got an 18.
18. From the sound of his voice and already knowing already kind of confirming the information. The information's correct. There's something off about him as a being, as a humanoid. He's sat, he eats, he's moved. But you have this weird, almost third sense that there's something more to him.
I would like to use my paladin divine sense.
Yeah.
I can see, I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's celestial, fiend, or undead, so that I have a feeling that's not going to cover it because I was
It's
expecting Fae
no,
at
you
this
get
point.
you
But
get Fey too. You get Fey in there as well. It's Celestial, Fey, Fiend, Undead, I believe.
I think that's the spell.
Is that the spell?
Uh,
No,
that's
I
Yeah.
That's protection from good or evil and
oh,
good.
I thought Divine
That's
Wait.
Sense.
aberration,
Okay,
celestials,
wait. I mean,
elementals, fae, fiends,
you can
undead.
detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the hollow spell, or no. Oh, okay, wait. By the hollow spell.
I'm pretty sure it's Fey, Fiend, Undead. Let me double check.
Okay,
Where's your character
let's
sheet?
see.
I have
You're
it
right. Yes, you're right. It is. It was the hollow spell. It only listed
Gotcha.
explicitly. I can know the location of celestial fiend or undead, but I can
Aha.
also detect
Gotcha.
the fiends, about Fae fiends. Yeah. Okay.
So you very quickly do that, and as you do, you get the sense that you get is undead,
Oh shit.
Nani?
and
Look
it is
at his
very
teeth.
clear.
Are they
Like when you
pointy?
get, when you look at him in this new light, you take a minute, and there are a couple of options, right? That this could be. You are mentioning one of them. That is not the case. You go through zombie, you go through skeletons, you go through things, things of that nature, like true undead. None of those. Your best guess would be something along the lines of an apparition or a ghost. Manifested in a little bit more of a corporeal form than like anybody like you would be used to.
So, Tal, how long have you been wandering the plains here?
I generally wander between here and Misty Shift and following the Ashvale Peaks. I've been doing it most of my life, about 30 years now.
It's quite some time.
Uh,
And
You look really good for having traveled for 30 years.
The weather's been good to me. And he smiles for a second. The wild mother graces me with sun each morning and wind at my back. So
Wild Mother's generous. Is there something we can do for you?
no. By all means, you fed me, and that is more than enough. Like I said, I'm merely here ensuring the welfare of travelers.
Just out of curiosity, is it because something befell you here a long time ago?
And he with that he smiles and smirks and just kind of gives you that nod of like, okay, cool, I see you. Uh, many years ago, yes. Nothing that I didn't already know or expect. But it was my duty then to maintain and safeguard, and so it is my duty still.
Sure take your
Sounds-
duty very seriously.
Who's your
I-
duty too, if you don't mind me asking? Just
To the lands of sorts, to the paths wandered, and some even mildly unwalked. I guess you could say to the land itself, but to the people that also walk it.
well, I appreciate that you're out there watching out for us. If you're happy with that, I'll say no more, but I am a follower of the Wild Mother, and I don't know if I can help, but if you say wanted to rest maybe I could help.
My body has long since been buried and decayed. It's less of.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, are you? Yes, and like he takes his hand and sticks it just like straight into the fire.
Yeah.
Pulls it out, and like the fire just kind of dances around and through it.
Orchid's gonna put her like a big hand on Finara's shoulder. Tal here seems to have had a nasty accident a long time ago and hasn't moved on. But
Wait, are you a corporeal manifestation?
Yes. Of sorts.
I mean, you did eat that food, which is fascinating.
How is that
Yes,
possible?
I can. And he like opens up his for a second opens up his leather armor so you can see where his chest would be, and like floating in the middle of it is the greased up food that you gave him. I was, and he and then he reaches in and like grabs it and pulls it out and places it into the fire. I was going to respectfully wait until after I left you to dispose of it, but
Oh, well, it's kind of a waste if you ask me. But it's all right. Never mind.
it was. But when kindness is given to you, it is often.
Well, why not tell us that you're a spirit of sorts?
He eyes you for a moment, and then but really is looking toward Orchid, and there are many of this world that would see things like me gone, or see things like me as a threat.
Art is walking up to this individual and gives his leg a small poke, and then rapidly takes notes in his notepad.
Where you poke him in the leg, he has clothing on, so like the clothing sinks a bit. Where the clothing is, like if you were to touch his leather armor, it's hard, right? Like so, like even though there's that little bit of a cushion to it, where like it would sponge into his body, he's choosing very willingly to make his armor and his clothes his shell, right? So like when you poke at it, it's very much corporeal, like it's very very real.
You can't just go around poking people without consent.
What?
Even if they are a spirit, you need consent to poke them. Wherever you poke them.
I'm sorry. I'm fascinated. I've not seen a manifestation like this before.
No, I mean, I'm also too trying to process everything because, this is just really, yeah, it just never happened before. So we shouldn't be worried that you're gonna suffocate us like some spirits. At least I hear the scary ones suffocate people in their sleep or try to take their souls and stuff like that. You're not one of those bad spirits, right?
If I wanted to do that, I could have very easily done it about a half hour ago.
Fair enough.
Well, I don't
fair
know
enough.
about that. Orchid.
Did you not sleep last night?
And he takes a moment and he grabs his pennant that he's wearing, which you can see is just a very simple crooked staff. And Orchid, you would recognize this. Finara, you would understand it, but not really know what it is. And Art, you just kind of get that warm and fuzzy feeling from when, like, that's very similar to when Finara emboldening bonds you. And he looks up and says, "You were right. It would have been a tough fight." And he looks at both the two of you. as he in turn has cast Divine Sense on the two of you.
Well, I'm glad that we don't have to worry about getting rid of us in any form, shape,
No.
form.
If you wish, I'll stay the night and watch over till the sun rises.
Sure. That's mighty kind of you. When you were in the land of the living, like us, where are you originally from?
Originally, it's hard to. If you mean where was I born, it'd be Misty Shift. My father and my grandfather and my great-grandfather were all hunters for the Mott. But if there was a place that I resided most often, he thinks for a minute. There's a small village in the southeast of the Wolfwood, where it meets the Golden Fields. That's where I spent most of my time.
I see. But you're like, as they say, tethered here. Like you can't go back to your favorite places.
I could if I wanted to. I do travel throughout the entirety of the Golden Fields. When you're a ghost, you can move rather quickly. But I don't linger in one place too long, no.
You said you were from... You spent a lot of time in the Wolfwood?
To the south, the southern borders of it, where it meets the Golden Fields, yes.
Have you ever been to the other side of the Wolfwood before?
You mean north of Alvert?
Yeah. Would you happen to know anything about that region?
Let me move my map and make a check for him. Just for you, Eddie. Hey, this is for Eddie. This isn't even for me, so roll good. Oh my god. Actually, that's pretty good. For extra measure, because somebody gave me a D4 guidance, I will use this guidance on you. Remember that I did not wait for a combat encounter to use this.
Yay.
Thank you.
Wait, there's a combat encounter? What?
Potential combat encounter. So that's a 16.
There's still that wagon-throwing bear somewhere.
Listen, I've seen the trailers for Cocaine Bear. I haven't traveled very far into the Wolfwood, but I've heard stories of what goes on in the northern reaches from time to time. There, it's a little bit more dangerous. There aren't as many outdoorsmen to keep the wild beasts tame. And depending on how far you get to, or how close you get to the Frosttooth Mountains, gets colder the closer you go. Farther north you get, the colder it gets.
Have you ever heard of the Tears?
The Tears are a pair of rivers that actually... Yes, I traveled up the Tears a handful of times in my youth. Every once in a while, when we were hunting the northern reaches of the woods near Misty Shift, we'd travel to Alverton to sell our wares, the hides and things that we made over time, or stuffed trophy kills. Winter's End, if you are traveling north from the lake, Winter's End eventually reaches the Tears. I'd never actually been there where they split. into the two branches of the tiers, but I know of them. Yes.
But you've never actually been there, though.
No, we usually if we caught a ferry, we usually or took or traveled by water, we usually got off where the Winter's End meets Alverton, the southern Alverton Road. Why are you looking to go there?
I've been looking for something, and all of my information points towards the tiers, so I was just hoping that maybe I might be able to find someone with more information.
Yeah, my best bet would be, well, if you're going to Gwen Yamalis, and he thinks for a second, he sits and scratches his head, and then do you have a map, kind of recent one? And he grabs it and he rolls it out in front of you. Regardless of where you are, you're going to have to if you're trying to get to the tiers, you'll have to travel back northward. I would stop in Bymist. You are likely able to charter a ferry that will take you all the way to the end of the tiers. Nothing goes farther north than that. There are rapids and such, and the waterways are too constricted for water travel, from what I've been told. But in Bymist, you may be able to find out more information. Many youth of Misty Shift traveled to Bymist to do what the three of you, I think, are doing. There's a wealth of information there, and there are many who offer help freely.
What do you think we're doing?
I think they both have the same look of like,
I think in your own ways, you are all. You can tell there's like he's choosing his words, not necessarily carefully, but like he wants to make sure that it doesn't come off the wrong way, right? You all each have a story to tell. You're following your own paths while following each other's.
I mean, that sounds like it could apply to just about anybody, so sure.
And he looks up for a moment and, well, we all travel the same path but different ones in the end.
Does being really cryptic come with being like you, or is that just how you always were? Out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
With that, he kind of...
Crypt.
Go for it.
Since you have such a plethora of knowledge at your not lively fingertips, I'm curious if you happen to know if there's any dangers that lie ahead, if we're venturing off in that direction. And she's gonna kind of like point in the direction that they're headed. Like, have you seen anything we should be worried about?
If you're continuing to head westward, I know there is a troll somewhere that has made a portion of the river fords his home. Let's see, what else? And you've already passed the brothers, so that's good. And he kind of recalls it.
Huh?
Occasionally, when you get to the Ashvale Peaks, there will be occasionally you may run into a dragon. It really depends. This time of year, the red ones won't be out, so you probably are fine.
Oh, say
So-
All right.
Perrin should have come with us on this trip.
Yep. See, oh man, of course it would happen when we split up and we're just like this, and then I could have been like, ha ha. See, I was right from the start. That's what you get. And listen to your sister, even though you're a bigger brother. I am a smart younger sister.
I mean, you're bigger than him, though.
You know, yes, but not age-wise. So he always throws that in my face. And then for some reason, it makes him grow a few inches, kind of, in my eyes. It's like a weird thing, you know? When somebody's like, I'm better than you in some way, then you're kind of like, wait, okay, Art, maybe you're right.
You know-
And it's I don't know, it's a mental kind of whole gymnastics. It's
No,
interesting.
I think I get you. Like my little sister, but big sister Ivy, like she's like she can be really aggressive sometimes, and like I get what you mean about being like just feeling bigger than they are.
It's like a presence, and I haven't quite mastered that same, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I guess, confidence. He has a lot of that, almost too much for his own good, to be quite honest.
You
It's
know,
quite admirable.
he certainly does have a lot of confidence, and also can be pretty protective of you.
That's true. Wait,
I mean,
what does that mean?
he just gave, you know, it doesn't matter. Tal,
Yes.
Well, I don't suppose there's any chance we could persuade you to maybe guide us towards the forest, since you seem to know the lay of the land and potential pitfalls.
Make a persuasion check.
She just the big googly eyes. Well, all right. I used my bless, but that's a 14.
Wait, you also too have I think the bond still, right? The bond.
Oh, right,
the
what does
bond
that do?
gone? That's an extra D4, I believe.
How long does it last?
Wait, has it been 10 minutes?
I'll
It's been 10 minutes.
I'll allow it. You can do it. Use it. Go ahead.
Okay, it's
You've
D4.
probably been talking for moments, but
I mean, it's been more than 10 minutes, but like you used it, so I'll give you a use of it. Sure.
then it's an 18 total.
An 18 total. He looks at you from across, and he's positioned himself across the fire from you all, and he takes a very good look at the three of you. And then kind of leans. I could, and I would, if you ask me. But what kind of story would you be telling then?
A story where I, with all due haste, made it to my destination where I have a very important package to deliver.
With the help of new friends. New friend.
And I made acquaintance with a corporeal manifestation.
That sounds like a cool story to me.
He looks up at the stars and then sits back and reaches into his like side satchel that he has and pulls out a wooden pipe and fills it real quick and just very casually starts taking puffs of it, and, like, leans back on one arm or one hand. And he's doing like the cat, like not the casual, but like the contemplating, like where he's like taking a puff and like letting it out in like tiny bursts as he's thinking.
Fanara's going to, when that happens, she's gonna pull out her conch shell to basically blow through it. I don't know why, but because of the fact that he's like smoking. She doesn't smoke, so she's just like, I only
Make
got
a-
one thing I can blow.
Make a performance check. Make a performance check.
Maybe something will happen. I don't know.
Is it a 1?
It's a 1.
Perfect.
It's just like straight fart noises for like a solid minute. You're just like, you're like, hang on, let me try again. Like, yeah, just complete utter fart nonsense. And he like just kind of is like, I think that's your way of telling me that you need to go to sleep.
No. It sounded much better previous night. I'm not blessed with my brother's talent for music, but I'm still trying to figure out what this shell does. And I mean, now I'm starting to think it's not really an instrument per se, but then it could be just my lack of musical talent.
We probably should go to sleep.
Interesting.
I guess we'll see you in the morning.
I'll-
Or not.
I'll let you all sleep, and I'll watch over and think. And if I'm here in the morning, I will journey with you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for considering it.
Thank you very much.
And
I know it seems like you don't necessarily need it, but if you enjoy it, there's still a little bit more food.
I may have some. Thank you. Just it's a weird. Well, it's one of those weird habits that when you're asked to partake in a meal, even though I don't need it, it just feels good to be a part of it.
Well, they say, life's too short to not enjoy good food. But, or after life, I guess. But
And he reaches out and like extends his hand toward yours, and like to shake your hand. And as you do, or as he does, you feel firm handshake, and then for a second, you feel nothing. And then when you look at your hand, there's this little bit of a glisten to it.
I look at it more closely.
For your studies. Thank you for the meal and the hospitality.
Thank you. I'm gonna.
I would put that in a jar, or a vial, or something.
Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna reach into one of my many pockets and try and see if I can find some sort of a receptacle for it, and basically do that thing where as I'm walking back to the tent, where I'm not actually watching where I'm going, I'm staring at the thing in my hands.
Of course.
Oh, little buddy, watch. As I redirect you around like a pack.
Just mark down that you got a vial of ghost goo. There you go.
Ghost goo.
Good old ghost goo.
Listen, ectoplasm is not a word I think should be in fantasy. So, I mean, I guess it should. I mean, I guess it can be, but I don't think it's something that like Art would be like, oh, ectoplasmic gelatin. Like
Jelly.
I mean, it
would have
probably
just said jelly.
be more like ectoplasmic expulsion, but
I mean, there was like fart noises, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
To be fair.
You're right. But no. And with that, you all get a nice long rest. As dawn breaks, Fanara, go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
D4. Oh, that was cocked. The 3.
A 3. Cool. Awesome. You wake. You open the door to your tent. Well, all of you kind of collectively. And as you step out, Orchid, and you all step out, Tal is nowhere to be seen. You take a moment and begin to start breaking up camp. Orchid, taking a moment to look out, you notice something by the fire. Not like it's close enough to the fire where it could be firewood, but like almost looks intentionally like pitted into the ground there.
Orchid goes over to examine it.
And as you bend down to look at it, you can see a simple leather strap attached to a wooden crook, a small wooden crook.
I pick it up.
Make a religion check.
Mm-hmm. Can't remember. Okay, that's a 13.
13. With a 13, you in your relationship with Melora is very much more on the natural nature side of things. But in parts of Cantor, there are those that worship her as a shepherd guiding her flock. So she uses the crook, or they use the crook as a symbol for her.
Do I think this is him leaving a gift, or is this like this is his day form that we can just
make a either an insight or an arcana check. I'll let you pick.
Well, it's a 0 or -1, so we'll go with insight. That's an 8.
An 8. Probably just a gift.
Well, looks like it's just the 3 of us.
Well,
Aw.
that's all right.
I was going to be fascinated finding about more about him, but, well, I suppose,
Me
you know,
too.
easy come, easy go.
I guess so. Really weird. Just ghosts.
But you all had the same beliefs, right?
Hmm?
Oh, at least Orchid, you had the same faith as our ghostly friend.
I guess. I mean, definitely different sects, but same primary god. Well, no use lingering here.
All right, time to start the day.
Day 5. I believe Art was the last one who rolled. So, Finara, go ahead and roll for me.
All right. What do we got? Come on!
A 1 again?
I'm not using.
Is that the same? Is that the same? You rolled the same dot. Oh my gosh.
I was thinking that because of the fact that with the animal, I was like, okay, maybe it's just bad rolls. I'm gonna like
There's no
get out
possible
of
way
the
this could
funk.
hurt me again.
No, especially because I'm like, Umbral usually doesn't do me this dirty. So I'm a little like,
You have it calibrated to DM mode.
Apparently.
Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a d6.
All right.
If you get a
Dang it.
1, re-roll it.
Dang it!
I swear.
I'm re-rolling it.
I swear to God, if it rolls another 1, I'm just gonna put another carriage in a tree somewhere.
Oh, thank God. No, it's a 4.
A 4. All right.
Why me?
Mild.
So wild. I've never rolled like this. Is so weird for me. It's never been this bad.
As you are traveling, as you're traveling, you notice it at first, Finara. well, you don't even notice it about you. You notice it about the horses. The horses are...
I'm on Winston today.
You're on Winston today. Winston starts to get slightly agitated. The way that their posture and demeanor is very, or feels somewhat defensive, as if they're anticipating or looking for something, but in a frantic way where the head's kind of shifting like back and forth, looking around. The rest of the horses are exhibiting very similar behaviors, and as you're sitting there, you're taking a moment. Winston settles for a second, and that's when you feel it. You feel the ground below you begin to kind of shiver. Like it goes up Winston's leg, and you can feel it as you're sitting in the saddle. As if something's happening underneath the ground, underneath your feet. And as you turn to call out to the rest of the party, you see this burst of earth near the front legs of Winston. As Winston rears up, I need you to make an animal handling check.
All right. Okay, we're gonna use another die here because I'm not trying to die today. Oh, okay. All right. This umbral die is doing better. All right, that is a 25.
With a 25, you are able... Winston rears up, and you are able to pull the reins and use the momentum in your body weight to shift where he lands and moves, so he doesn't fall backwards onto you or backwards off to the side, but rather he kind of tilts, turns, and then rewrites himself. But as this shower of earth and dirt falls around where Winston once was, you can see, for the briefest of moments, this hard shell and carapace that extends from the ground. Probably it extends 2 or 3 feet out of the ground. A head that is completely compact and armored. Huge jaw-like mandibles expanding from its face. And it slowly sinks back into earth. And as you do, and the rest of you look on, you can hear very similar rumblings coming around from the dirt all around you. And that's where we'll leave off for tonight and pick up in 2 weeks when you play again. Listen, don't roll a natural 1 on the combat encounter ones.
Not tremors, not this. Tremors, no. What in the tremors, no.
Listen, you have somebody who's the goblin version of the 2 people with all the guns in the basement. So
that's true. That's true. That's true.
Arguably my favorite scene because they go through all of the ammo and all of the guns to kill one.
They do.
But thank you all for taking part and watching. Yay. We're going to quickly go around the horn to let my wonderful players here tell you who they are, what they do, and where you can find them. And then I'll look for who we're going to raid tonight, and we'll continue our adventures elsewhere. But yeah, let's start with Finara, the one who got us into this mess.
Hello, everybody. You can blame Valrook in the chat for... No, just kidding. No, I love Umbral Oculus. The other dice that was Umbral Oculus did roll high. I should have stuck with the other pink purpley one instead of the blue. But, I was trying to go with the whole theme here. Hello, I am Utahime. I play your beloved Seafling cleric of the party who had a saucy night of hand holding, and but now it's going to be an even saucier, spicier day with this tremor creature that's going to possibly kill us, but hopefully not. You can find me on social media at UTAHIME, Utahime Cosplay, pretty much everywhere, except on Twitter, if you're still on there, at Brianna DeCoster on Twitter. I'm up to lots of different things. I'm a host, as the name suggests. I'm a cosplayer. You can catch me if you're in Arizona at KikoriCon, March 17th through 19th. It's my first time going to Arizona Con, so it's really exciting. I'm super excited to be going, and yeah, I just want to hang out with everybody over there. So if you're in Arizona, I'd love to see you. Also, too, we have WonderCon. There's going to be an announcement for a awesome panel that I get to be a part of with some really awesome friends of mine for TTRPG and cosplay. Haha. Yeah, I'm trying to think. As far as tomorrow, we have the next episode of Leverage Los Angeles. That's over on Open Circuit Studios. So be sure to catch my crazy but lovable thief hacker Locke over there, getting into lots of shenanigans. She's a chaos gremlin for sure. Kind of the same size as Fanara, just way crazier and wilder. So definitely check it out. But other than that, you can see all the stuff that I'm up to on a weekly basis on my socials. But enough about me. It's time to go over to my crush, the lovely Orchid.
Well, hello there. It has been a pleasure with the spiciest hand holding you ever saw. I feel like we're in middle school. Like, oh my god!
Oh my god!
Such a big deal. It was so much fun, though.
It was sweaty.
Clammy hands.
I teach middle school. You do not want to be a sweaty middle schooler. Just no.
Oh no.
No. I certainly never hope to experience middle school again in any capacity.
No, God no.
Bless you for teaching those awkward kids. All right. If any of them are there tonight, I'm sure you're all wonderful. Anyway, I'm Lizzie. You can find me on social media at the Lizzie LD. You can find me here Tuesday nights and follow me to find out where else I might pop up. Okay. Moving right along to our goofy, gregarious goblin friend.
That is some delightfully delicious alliteration right there. I love that. Hi, everyone. I'm Eddie, otherwise known across the socials as your humble discount bard, a humble vaudevillian vagabond spreading chaos and shenanigans wherever I go, bouncing around various TTRPG channels like this one, playing awesome characters, and getting to surround myself with amazingly talented people who absolutely humble me with their presence. I'm also on Twitch myself at twitch.tv/discountbar, where I do variety content. I've been on a bit of a hiatus recently because life, but I am coming back actually this week, so definitely check me out. I'm typically Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can find me doing something, whether it's a TTRPG game or something on my own channel. Otherwise, I'm a real-life polymath doing just about everything and making a hobby of collecting hobbies. What hyperfixation am I on now? Who knows? Let's find out. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's pass it on.
And I'm your innkeeper and dungeon master, Logan Hanley. You can find me here at the Red Hair Inn, where not only do I lead these people, who I call friends, through an amazing adventure that I absolutely love, but I also do homebrew, world building, all that stuff, all that cool stuff. So, if you're here, you know what I do. But yeah, come hang out with us. Our next game, our next big thing that we do, will be next Tuesday. No, Yay. Wednesday. Next Wednesday, where Team Break the Hand will continue breaking the hand. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. If one team wants to destroy an organization that is called the Hand, the other one is just derping around while they're traveling. So
it's holding hands.
We're holding hands.
Yeah, one of
and making
team.
Friends
Oh my
with
god!
Ghosts.
Team Break the Hand and team holding hands.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yes.
Look,
we gotta hold our hand. That's gonna be the next goal. We have to hold.
Okay, we're next episode. We're going through this field. We're linking arms. We're off to sea.
We're off to sea, Memphis.
Say that 10 times fast.
Oh, I can't. No.
It really is the Memphis Bell.
But no, you can find us here next week. I'll be doing that next Wednesday. Or we'll be doing that next Wednesday. And then, I don't know. Check out. Next week, I'll probably have a full schedule. I don't know what's going on, though. So, we'll see. But we're going to go raid.
Yeah.
Question mark. I should have picked somebody, but I didn't. We're gonna go raid. Are they back yet? No, they're not back. Are they playing? Okay, they're playing. We're gonna go. We'll head over to ADHD, or well, it's ADH Adventures, but the D in adventure is a capital D for ADHD.
Ooh, that's fun.
But ADHD
Okay.
Adventures.
right.
Yeah, I've watched them a couple times. They're really cool people. And they tell a pretty fun story. So we're gonna go hang out, sharing their tales. But yeah, be safe, friends. Happy adventures. And until next time, share a story, buy a round, share a meal. We'll be back. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.